Hey, how's it going, everyone? So what am I working on now? Well, I got a 2019 Nissan Rogue with 99,000 miles on it. Customer's complaint is it's got a check engine light and it has a hard time shifting gears. Now, a lot of people don't understand and don't realize that a lot of vehicles, especially Nissans, have what's called CVT transmissions, constantly varying transmissions. It's varying ratios. There's no actual gear changes per se. Um, they don't understand that. They think that the transmission's shifting gears when it's actually not. So I hooked my scanner up to it. One thing I did notice, I got it idling here. It's hot as all get out today. It's 90 something. Well, actually it says 83, but it feels a lot hotter than that. It's got a check engine light on. I have it idling. I just did a code scan. I didn't look at anything yet. But the idle gets wonky on this thing. Really weird. Let me show you. So first off, it's idling at 1100, 1200, something like that. It shouldn't be that high. But then all of a sudden, there it goes. It'll drop down and pick back up. Why? I don't know. All right, well, let's create a report with this. So it does have codes. And a tranny controller, any engine, no codes in the ECM, so this could all be tranny related here. So let's create a report. Okay. Send it to my Wrenching with Kenny. Got a bit of a sun glare here, I know that. There's nothing I can do about that. Alright. We're going to save the report first. It's got communication codes. Low voltage code. Passenger sensor abnormal voltage. Power supply. Circuit voltage below threshold. Fluid pressure sensor SWA. I don't recall what that is. That I'm not worried about. It's radio stuff. Power supply voltage. A lot of voltage codes. So, whatever in the world, air pressure monitor. I don't know what that even is. Internal electric. You see, a lot of these are voltage related. Alright, well, let's do this. Circuit voltage below threshold. Alright, let's do this. Let me just share this to my email. Okay, so good. Hit send. Hit send. Okay. Alright, so that's going to show up in my email. This way I have it for reference. So let's go back to TCM for a minute. Fluid pressure sensor. Let's enter. Read fault code. Now, with my Snap-on scanner, if I did like a code search, it would tell me what are common issues with this. With this scanner, what this does, if you're going to do a code search, it'll actually do a Google search for you. Low transmission fluid, dirty transmission fluid, faulty transmission fluid pressure sensor A. Okay. What I'm going to have to do is I don't go off of anything I read here. I like to do the diagnostics first, but sometimes I like to look to see what kind of information it's giving me, just to see. So, all right. So, when I do have my all data here, which I could go into if I wanted to. I don't feel like doing that. But let's go back. All right, I'm going to take this thing for a road test. I just want to see. Well, since I have it, let me clear the code. Yes. Let's make sure it's going. No DTCs. Okay. Let me take this thing for a quick ride up the street, see what it does. Then I'm going to put up on a lift. And, well, first I'm going to look up the diagnostic plan for that, and then I'm going to put it up on a lift and just to give it a general check over. So, all right, let's go that route and see what happens. I can't tell you this thing's a turtle. It does not even want to get out of its own way. The transmission feels like it's slipping like crazy, in all honesty. Even though these things always feel like they're slipping to me, that's one thing. Any of you know me know I'm not a fan of CVT transmissions. I can't stand them. I hate the way they feel. They don't last. It's very rare that they last. The only one I've ever really liked was the Subaru version. That one seemed pretty good. But anytime a Nissan comes in all honesty, first thing that anybody ever says, as soon as they see a Nissan pulling in, oh, needs a tranny. That's what we always say. And because we do a lot of Nissan transmissions, let me tell you, the failure rate on these things is incredible. But yeah, there's something. It's jerky. I don't know if you can see it in the camera because I can't hold the camera steady. It's very jerky. So I think what we're gonna do is get this thing on a lift, and well, like I said, first I'm gonna look up that code, see what I come up with, and then I want to drain some of this fluid out and see what it looks like. But I got a funny feeling this transmission's cooked, just judging by how it feels. So, all right, let's get in the shop. Okay, so kind of as I expected, to be honest with you. Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, kind of as I expected, P0841. So here we go. I'm going to show you this in all data. Trouble codes, P code charts 841. So that's what this is. So DTC diagnostic procedure. We're going to click on that. Replace transmission assembly. That's it. There's no diagnostics. You have that code, put a transmission in it. Kind of what I expected. I'm still going to put it up in the air. I want to check the fluid. I don't know if you can hear that chime noise. That's one thing I can't stand about these things too. You leave them in neutral and the chime keeps going off because it wants to be in park. So, all right, let me get this thing in a position, get it up in a lift, and let's drain some of this fluid out and take a look at it, see what it actually looks like. All right, so this thing has shields and everything else underneath it, and I didn't feel like dealing with any of that, so I'm just going to suck some out from underneath the hood through the dipstick tube. This thing actually doesn't have a dipstick, but it does have a tube we use for filling, basically. I should call it a fill tube, I guess. All right, let's do that. So I got a clean container here, my sucker outer tool, but as you can see, I cleaned it out. There's just a little bit of residual on the bottom, nothing I can do about that. Let me get this in a position where I can actually remove some fluid. Hang on. Gotta do this ever so gently. The tube is not long enough. And yeah, it's pretty black. Get a little bit out. This way I can have a sample, because it turns out this thing does have a service contract on it, so they're going to want a fluid sample anyway. Hold that up, so. Alright, perfect. I'm going to leave that sitting there. And that sitting there. Alright, let me go get a container to put that in. Alright, so we got a clean container there with a little bit of fluid in it. Oh yeah, that's mud. That bar is mud. And it stinks. Okay. this. All right, well, the code is pretty self-explanatory. So it's going to be getting a transmission. So I'm going to go park this, and then we're going to have to deal with the insurance company or the contract company or whoever it is and tell them what we got and get a transmission on its way. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. That was simple enough. Hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.